Hello, this is Brother Javier. How you guys doing? Coming to you in Stay Connected series. This is my turn again. So in Ecclesiastes 1:9, it says the Bible speaks of there's nothing. It says that which has been is what will be, and that which is done will be done. And there is nothing new under the sun. And we always hear that. No, there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing should surprise us. Nothing should give us goosebumps or make us feel at awe of things that are happening in the world right now. And just kind of some of the things we see kids who are so busy trying to look different, but they end up all looking the same at the end. They try to find their own identity and trying just to be set apart, or to like I said, find their own identity, that we end up seeing the same person. And sometimes in us too, we end up doing those things. We end up coming back to those things that in our ears or in our eyes that enticed us, that drew us back to maybe this world. And even in our lives, the things that we didn't even know that were sin in our lives, but when we became Christians, we end up realizing that some of those things were not, they were not godly, and they shouldn't be maybe spoken of by us or being heard from us. And it's funny, it's just like when Paul he also spoke about he didn't know about covetousness until he had read about it. He says, I didn't even know what covetousness was until I had read it in the word or in the law of what covetous was. Same thing with us. Maybe we kind of let things in our lives that kind of enticed us, or maybe got into maybe conversations that we should not have gotten into, that we didn't realize there was sin, but ultimately end up being wrong, whether we were talking about people or maybe we were in a conversation that we shouldn't have been. And same thing with so just as the children of Israel, when Moses was bringing the children out of Egypt, and he brought them into the wilderness, and they were happy when they left. But once they got in the wilderness, they kind of saw some of those things that were in their hearts were coming out. They were blaming Moses that they're starving out there, and that they had all this meat back in Egypt, which wasn't true. And then he would put them. They were in a desert. Obviously, were thirsty, but they caused Moses to strike the rock twice. He even fed them manna, and when he even warned them, when he gave them manna, he goes, "You know what? Don't only take enough for what is portioned for you and your family." What did they do? They ended up taking more, and when they would open up and see what they had saved up, they would be rotten and full of it was decaying and stuff like that. So they even went as far as even worshiping an idol out in the wilderness. And God struck a portion of them down for that. So we see that in there, in I guess the lives of the the Israelites, that we see them as examples. And even the Bible, the New Testament, even talks about how we should use the children of Israel in the wilderness as an example of to remind us of those things that maybe we were brought out of, and to use them as examples. And even in our lives, we can use our testimonies, our past experiences as examples in our life of what we shouldn't do. Don't let those things come back into us, or come back to our lives that are hindering us from walking right with the Lord. And even as Moses was starting to pass away, he had someone, a predecessor, who was gonna follow him, and that was Joshua. And in Joshua, let me go to Joshua, and we're gonna read in verses 1 through 9. And it says, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spoke to Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' assistant, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise and go over this Jordan, you and all his people, to the land in which I am giving them, the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your feet will tread upon, I have given you, as I have said to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, and as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and all the great sea toward the going down of the sun shall be your territory. No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you, and I will not leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and of good courage, for to this people you shall divide an inheritance of land, which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe and do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded you. And do not turn from your right hand or to your left, that you may prosper wherever you go. The book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and be of good courage. Do not be afraid nor dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And that's awesome. And just as Moses was said, do not look to your right or to your left. Do not be distracted by the things that may have haunted you before, even the things that may distract us with our ears or with our eyes, or with maybe some of the things that may have enticed us in our life or in our flesh. But he says, look forward. He goes, look forward and I will be with you. He says, go to the promises. And he told Joshua to go to the promised land that I have given you, every place on which you set your feet upon. And these are like promises that we can take for ourselves, that every place that we go and every place that maybe where we work or where we go to school, that he's going to go before us. And he says, every place that I set before you, I will give you. And he says, no man shall stand before you all the days of your life. And he says, be strong, and I will not leave you nor forsake you. It says, be strong and be very courageous. And in verses 9 and 7 through 9, I'm going to read again, for this is awesome. I'm going to reread it. And it says, only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. And do not turn to your right or to your left. Do not be distracted by the things that are coming before us, even when the frustrations that we may have at work or at home or even with our families. Do not be distracted by those things, but look forward and very courageous, and that you may observe and do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. And do not turn to your right or to your left, that you may prosper wherever you go. And the book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, and that you may observe to do it according to what is written. For then you will make your way prosperous, and that you will have good success. And that's encouraging. In a way, sometimes we get very overwhelmed with life, but what the Lord is with us, and He wants to encourage us all to continue moving forward, to continue to look straight, and to not be distracted by the things that want to entice us or to even distract us from the Lord. And I just want to encourage you, brethren. Just keep your eyes forward, keep your eyes straight, and do good. And there's one more verse that I want to, and just the words of wisdom in Proverbs 4:25 through 27. Give me a second as I get there. Proverbs 4. 25 through 27. And these are Proverbs is a book of wisdom. So it says, let your eyes look straight ahead and your eyelids look right before you. Ponder the path of your feet and let all your ways be established. Do not turn to your right or to your left. Remove your foot from evil. And I just want to thank you, brethren. Be blessed, and I hope this encouraged you. Amen.